I wanted to make a guide about macro gaming and curse manipulation in Nullscape so you can make your runs easier, get more money, and get scarves and achievements easier. But before I bombard you with information, we need to understand what macro gaming actually is. Macro gaming is your overall strategy and decision making long term for the run, optimizing your gameplay, difficulty, economy, and curse pollution. If you ever feel in a specific lobby like you've been rich, been able to afford literally everything, yet the rounds are so easy, it's most likely due to macro. This can be done through strategy of picking specific altars at specific times, enemy choices, area collection strategies, picking specific upgrades, knowing your upcoming shops, and knowing at which levels you get greater curses. Greater curses always spawn at these specific levels on these specific game modes, so avoiding enemies until then will not put their greater curses in the pool. For example, let's say I really don't want the malfunction curse, so I'm not gonna pick operator until after level 10 because then its curse will not be in the pool for the greater curse that I'm about to select on level 10, because you can't get greater curses respective of the enemy if they're not chosen yet. This also goes for regular curses as well, so keep that in mind. Upgrade shops appear on levels ending on 0, 3, 5, and 8. Some upgrades depend on specific levels to be reached and specific enemies to be chosen for their upgrades to appear in the shop, such as Bell and Cadence, and more altars to be chosen for Aegis. It's important to know that enemy-related upgrades can be obtained in the same intermission as each other, but upgrades that require other ones to be chosen first will not appear in the same shop. If you have gotten all upgrades or gotten their max stacks, they will not appear in the shop, and if you have all of the upgrades entirely, you will not get any shops anymore unless intermissions ending on level 3. There should always be thought behind what you want to do and what you are choosing to make your runs as easy as possible or to achieve what you are specifically trying to do. Paying attention to what enemies you have chosen, what curses they have, and what upgrades you have are imperative to getting the result of what you want from a run. An example of this is, let's say you just picked bigger Marths. You should probably stop hitting chance altars if you guys aren't surviving as much, because if you get Martpocalypse, they just all combine and it'll be a lot more difficult. That being said, you should be aware of what curses can work with each other and what potentially dangerous combinations can be chosen. They should also be applied towards upgrades, such as re-rolling towards specifically econ if you don't have enough gifts to afford everything in the shop. Or however, if you guys are dying too much, grabbing movement instead so that you can live longer. A pretty simple example of this is collecting high-rise towers whenever there's no or harmless enemies on you, or not grabbing enemies like ICBM whenever you have ice progression with no ice gates, and or Grace Wing. Pretty simple stuff, but just don't make it too hard on yourself if you can't handle it. For altar strategy, an example I'm going to use is Fragile Gifts. Fragile Gifts increases your gift yield by 75%, and this includes metal and paycheck. Since paycheck is harder to get in larger servers, usually you probably don't want this curse, and it's just a lot more difficult to deal with. The collapse speed can make it significantly harder to get an actual yield if you aren't focusing on truly maximizing the gift yield. Assuming you took this curse, your main source of money is probably going to primarily come from purge altars and passage altars, and then you echo those passage altars. This video was just a quick rundown on macro and, you know, all the other things, but I feel like I forgot something, so please let me know in the comments if you guys think I missed anything. And if you learned anything, please like and subscribe. I'll have probably more related Nullscape videos in the future because I just really like this game and it's like the only good thing on Roblox. So helping me out would mean a ton. I'm also open to suggestions of what kind of videos people would want to see, so leaving a comment would be pretty helpful.